So hi guys, welcome back to another video. This one is going to be the usual monthly watch video, all the films I watched in September. Now I know I haven't been much on here, well for September I've just been sick, for about a week or so, just feeling rubbish since I went to Chester and Broughton. But I'm starting to feel like myself again, and I've watched quite a few films in September, so we better get started. So, first film I watched in September was Happy Gilmore. This was actually a first time watch for me, and this has been on my watch list for ages. And it took me a few sits to get through it, but I actually really liked this film. It was pretty funny. Adam Sandler as well. He was pretty good, pretty funny actor as well. And his acting, it did remind me a lot of him in Billy Madison, just not as good, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, he did a pretty good acting in this film. It was funny. I liked it. It was good. Then next up, I have Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is a film I have been wanting to rewatch for ages, and I finally did because I haven't seen it in 2 years. And at the start of September, which was just about a month ago, I rewatched it and I had so much fun. This was such a fun film, and it was a childhood classic as well. Growing up, I used to love watching this film. I don't think I read the book, but I watched this one quite a lot. George Clooney as Mr. Fox was great. Yeah, it was just such a good film. And then the last cinema experience I had before I got sick, and this was also on a vlog on here, Despicable Me 4. Yeah, so Despicable Me 4, I've been wanting to watch it for ages, but I finally did, and I had a blast. I loved it. It was so good. And it's now probably the second favourite Despicable Me film. I mean, obviously it's not as good as the original because that one's a classic. But yeah, this one, I really liked it, and I thought it was pretty funny, and made me laugh a lot more than I expected. And then next up, we have Clyde Over Chance and Meatballs, the first film I watched when I was sick. So basically, I was just scrolling through Netflix, and this came to my mind. I was like, I haven't watched it in a little over a year, so why not? And I had such a fun time rewatching this film. This is such a classic film. I absolutely love it. And this used to be one of my favourite films growing up. It was just so great. And there's just a lot of stuff I really like about this film. The soundtrack, the animation is on point. It's just so good. And then next up, I have Willy's Wonderland. This was basically meant to be like a Five Nights at Freddy's type of thing. But this film, it was okay. It just wasn't really that great or anything. Killer animatronics, like killer robots. Yeah, sure. But yeah, when I was watching this, it did remind me a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's, just not as good. Nicolas Cage, though, for him to barely have any dialogue in the film, which is strange. But yeah, I mean, this film, it was alright. It wasn't great or anything. And then this here is basically a documentary I was watching on Netflix. Oh, sorry, no, I got mixed up there. The next film up, I had Clyde with Chance of Meatballs 2. So yeah, it was basically the next day, and I basically just watched this after I watched the first one. I hadn't watched it in a few years now. When I gave it a rewatch, I had such a fun time with this film. It's not as good as the first one. Still think the first one was better, but I really did like rewatching this film. It was good, it was fun, it was entertaining, and the food to become food monsters as well, or foodimals, whatever you want to call them. They were pretty good, and I really liked it. And there probably won't be a third one, but I'm hoping there will, because I really like the Card Over Chance of Meatballs films. But I'm not planning on watching the series anytime soon. And then now for that Netflix documentary I was watching, Friday Night Dinner, 10 Years and a Lovely Bit of Squirrel. Yeah, well, basically, if you didn't know already, I really like the TV show Friday Night Dinner. It's funny. Simon Bird, Tom Rosenthal, they're great actors as the brothers Adam and Johnny in the show. But yeah, well, for this documentary, I thought it was all right. It weren't good, great or anything. There was a few points in it where it made me laugh, but it's basically just the actors talking about the show and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, I guess, but it was just a little interesting to watch, and it weren't bad, I guess. And then I have another Netflix film here, which is actually the new SpongeBob film, Saving Bikini Bottom, Sandy Cheeks movie. Well, I was basically desperate to watch this film for ages, so I gave it a rewatch, and it was okay. It wasn't great or anything. I still think that the other SpongeBob films were better. Like, I loved the first one. Second one was decent though. I mean, it weren't great, but it was decent. The third one I preferred to the second one, but still not as good. This one might be my least favourite out of the three, and we're getting the fourth SpongeBob film next year, I think. But yeah, this film, it was alright, it weren't great or anything. And then next up I have Ice Age 3. So this is basically a film which I hadn't watched in like over a year now. I wanted to rewatch it again for ages, and it was on my watch list. So I gave it a rewatch, and I had a lot of fun with it though. I really did like it though. It was also another film I used to love growing up. And what am I going to say? Forgotten what I was going to say now, but yeah, for this film, it was fun to rewatch. I mean, it's probably like the lowest one out of the first 5, but with the Buck one definitely being in last place. That's definitely it. But I also heard the rumours about the Ice Age 6 being in production at Disney or 20th Century, whatever it is. The Buck movie is basically just meant to be a spin-off, and I've been calling it Ice Age 6 for so long. I think the real Ice Age 6 is coming out soon. And then next up we have Minions: The Rise of Gru. I haven't seen this film since the cinema, so I had to rewatch it, and I'm going to be honest, this film was just so good to rewatch. I mean, I really liked it. Not as good as the cinema viewing when I first watched it, but I really did like it. The Minions made me laugh because, Minions, they're pretty funny. They do stupid stuff which make me laugh. And I thought Gru did a good actor as well. Like, I much prefer him as the adult version. But with this one, he was pretty good though. Weren't great or anything, but I still really enjoyed it. And I don't know if they're going to make a Minions 3 or not. And then next up we have 101 Dalmatians. I absolutely love this movie. I wanted to just watch a movie on a Tuesday night, I think it was. And then this one came to my mind. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put this on because it's a good film, why not? And I'm not going to lie, I had such a fun time with this film. It's just such a good film. I absolutely love it. And I absolutely used to love this movie growing up. It was just so good, so amazing. And with all the other ones as well, some of them might not be as good. Well, Cruella is the second favourite, the 2021 movie. But this one has to be the best one. And we are getting a sequel to Cruella, which I'm really looking forward to. And then the last film of the month is Brian and Charles. I haven't seen the film since the cinema, so I gave it a rewatch, and it's a really funny film. It didn't make me laugh as much as it did in the cinema, but I still had a fun time with it. I really liked that robot Charles. He was funny and everything. It was just such a good film to watch. I really liked it, and it was just so good to rewatch again. And just hoping maybe later on I'll see more films similar to that. And yeah, well, that's it. That is all the films I watched in September. So what's my film of the month going to be? Well, for me, I think my film of the month is going to go to Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is just such a good film. I absolutely love it. And for me, it feels like it would be the perfect film for family and everyone. It's just such a good film. It's really funny, and the animation is out of this world as well. So guys, that is basically it. I am going to now log off and just chill, and I'll see you guys again soon for another video, and bye!